Hello, hello, hello. You are tuning into another episode of The Wunderkind Show. Today's topic, today's other topic, right? How do the Ravens draft? Offense or defense? And I was thinking about this earlier. Matter of fact, I was thinking about this about 2 days ago. And I was thinking to myself and saying, look, there's so much rumors that is going on right now with the Baltimore Ravens. We don't know what's happening with Lamar. We don't know what's happening with DeAndre Hopkins. We don't even know if Bateman will be 100% ready for the season. We don't know any of these things. We're just going off of, okay, let's see how this works. So I was thinking, circumstances, I guess, would change over certain scenarios, would influence the way we draft. Now, listen, the Ravens usually don't like spending big money on wide receivers, right? That's historical, the way that they've done that. But if they get DeAndre Hopkins, do you really see us taking a wide receiver with the little bit of picks that we have in the draft? I don't. I'm sorry, I don't. Some people would be like, no, we still need to take a receiver. I don't think that they take a receiver in the draft if somehow we end up with a Mike Evans or DeAndre Hopkins. I just don't see it. We don't have enough draft capital. And they want to move back to get more draft capital. So I look at it, if they get DeAndre Hopkins, right, or Mike Evans, I look at it being a very defensive draft that the Ravens will put on display. Now look, if we get one of those guys, I wouldn't be mad. I would not be mad. I would not be bothered. I would give props to the GM because that would make the most sense, right? If you get and nab Mike Evans or DeAndre Hopkins, right? That means you have one of those two. You have OBJ. You would have Bateman coming back. You have Duvernay. You have what's the wide receiver that we got that drops everything? I forgot his name. Him, right? So then it's like, okay, you got 5 wide receivers right there. You know what I mean? Do they really go into the draft unless somebody drops crazy like a Tank Dell and they get him in like the 4th or 5th? Then I could see it. You know what I mean? But outside, I think it's going to be heavily defense if we get one of those guys. And listen, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I've been reading out comments. I've been going on Twitter. I've been asking questions, and people still want offensive pieces from the draft. My thing is, because of what we've done, we're in a very precarious situation. We have a lot of holes to fill on defense again because of the absence of Calais Campbell and now the absence of Juice Man. So it's like, okay, they're out. What do we do? You know what I'm saying? Now look, I've actually went through and I've heard what some people want particularly, but I was going through the top, players in the draft, and I got CBS up right now on my phone, and they were going through like what are the best right now prospects in the draft. Now, I'm gonna go down to the top 10, then we'll go top 20, and then after the top 20, it's like, well, it's wherever you position yourself, right? If you move up for someone particularly that you really, really, really want, are they worth that? So let's go through it and see what we're looking at. So Will Anderson Jr., let's be real, he's going in the top 5. Bryce Young, top 3. Jalen Carter, he could slide out of the top 5. I could see that happening. CJ Stroud, of course, top 3. We're not getting him. Bijan Robinson. I do not want this guy. Look, people are going to hate me. We already got 3 running backs. We got 3 of them. We got Justice Hill. We got J.K. Dobbins. And we got Gus the Bus. Now, look. If it was somebody that was absolutely, wow, then yeah. But this is crazy. because they got Bijan Robinson as the 5th rated prospect in this draft. But here's my thing. If that running back is not a guaranteed Adrian Peterson, LaDainian Tomlinson, who's another big one? Jamal Charles, Chris Johnson, Derrick Henry, then that dude, there's no reason to take a running back that high. I think that's very foolish. You know what I mean? Peter Skoronski, I never liked him. Okay, here's where it gets fun, because here comes this is all defense now. Christian Gonzalez, Tyree Wilson, Devin Witherspoon, Deontay Banks. Then it goes back to, of course, QB Anthony Richardson, Joey Porter Jr., Paris Johnson Jr., which is offensive tackle. How do you spell this man's name? Jahmyr Gibbs, running back. Quentin Johnson, wide receiver. Hey, yo, real quick. They got Quentin Johnson as the number 1 receiver in this draft? I get it. He has the size. I get it. Listen, I swear to y'all, man, when I see him on tape, I just get that guy that we had that was big, that was absolutely, only good at blocking. That's what I get when I watch a Quentin Johnson. I just feel like when I watch his tape, that's what I'm looking at. Whatever. Lucas Van Ness, edge. Brian Branch. I do not want to see another safety anywhere. Will Levis, QB. Jackson Smith, Najib. He's the 19th prospect. Miles Murphy, edge. Okay, this is where we're going to be at, right? So now 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, right? 24, Zay Flowers, okay? Very nice receiver, but small, 5'9". Jordan Addison, another very talented receiver, but 5'11". Darnell Wright, offensive tackle. Brian Breesy, defensive line. And Harrison, offensive tackle. Drew Sanders, linebacker. And then Kajai Kancey, D lineman. So here's the thing. I saw a lot of tight ends. We're not getting one. That's a waste of a pick. I'm going to tell you right now, that pick the best player regardless of position, that's foolish. We have Mark Andrews, we have Isaiah Likely, and we got what's his name. I swear to God, I better not see them think or say, hey, let's go and take let's go take another tight end. That's crazy to me. That's ridiculous. But then it starts to free up like Emmanuel Forbes for cornerback. Listen, we need a corner. I think, look, I heard Lunch Break Hot Take saying this. Why do we keep drafting all these corners if we're not going to give them the opportunity to play? Right? I get that. I truly do get that. The problem that I'm having is that they've been drafting badly. And we don't want because here's the thing. Our corner room is going up against some of the best wide receiver rooms in the NFL. Who would they be going against? Okay, well you got the Bengals. That's number 1. You got Pittsburgh. That's top 10, top 11. And the Browns are rounding out with their talent, which I don't believe the Browns will be top 10, but definitely a top 13, top 15 receiving room, whatever. Or might not, because remember what's his name got hurt this offseason. He blew out his Achilles. So, but we have talented receivers in the AFC North. Very talented receivers. So my thing is that you're going to need some corners to throw at them, especially since our corners somehow always get injured. We go through corners like water. You feel me? So we got to get corner definitely. What would be the other one? I want Tank Dell. I'm being selfish right now, but I want Tank Dell. I really do. I think after Odell's one season here, I think he's going to go somewhere else, and I think Tank Dell would fill that role perfectly. But hey, we'll see what happens. But definitely I'm thinking corner and they might go edge. Now, I feel like Owe was a bad draft pick. I don't see him turning into some superstar. I think it was a horrible draft pick. But we have other players that are kind of intriguing on the defensive line. I think they go edge just in case Owe doesn't take another step. So then you're looking at edge and you're looking at corner, which are premium positions. So I'm not going to complain with either or. But the Ravens are known to take non-premium positions high. And that's where the problem arises. So then it's like, okay, then what are we going to take? Is it going to be offense? Not if they get those pieces that I said. Now, here's the kicker. What if Lamar does sit out? What if we don't get one of those big-time wide receivers? What then? Are y'all looking at a Jordan Anderson? Are you looking at a Tank Dell up higher? Are you looking at a Jackson Najibba, whatever his name is? Like, how would we do that? Like, you get where I'm coming from? Then we'd have to, like, put stuff together to move up to get what you want, or they would just wait for someone to fall to them, but they've done that before and they failed. So I'm like, which one? Offense, defense, offense, defense. I'm sitting there wondering, what are we really going to do? And we're only about 4 days away from the draft. This is a very precarious situation. I know everyone's like, oh, the Ravens have it down pat. They know what they're doing. Oh! I don't want to hear that because they drafted Owe. And they drafted him very, very, very high. They drafted a guy with an Achilles injury very, very high. So I don't want to hear it. Like, I really don't want to hear that. Who do you guys think we should take? Our offensive line hopefully can round into form. We might end up needing a left guard because what's his name is absolutely useless. And right tackle was getting beat like a drum last year. A lot of people don't know this. If you watch tape, they were giving him a lot of help. The Ravens were giving him a lot of help on his side. Just saying, you know what I mean? And he still didn't play great. So it's like, because offense is give and take, right? It's very rare you get a great line and great receivers, right? Usually, if you have subpar receivers, you have an amazing line that gives you time to get the ball to the receivers, right? And gives the receivers time to finally get open because they're subpar receivers. Or you have amazing receivers and you have a bad offensive line so they can win at the point of attack. As soon as the snap is one Mississippi, they're already open. You know where I'm coming from? Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of the give and take. I like more balance. I'd rather have one great guy that can shift coverage his side and have okay guys around him. I mean, everybody would love to have an all-star squad, but it's not realistic, especially for the Ravens. So that's the way I'm kind of looking at this. I want Tank Dell. I really, really want him simply because we don't know how Bateman is going to respond off of these injuries. We just don't. I think Bateman has shown that when healthy, he could be a top guy. Problem is that he's been oft injured a lot, and we don't know if those injuries are going to sap some of his speed, agility, athletic ability. Like, bro, you know what I'm saying? So then it's like, what are we going to do? So that's where I'm kind of at. I want to know what y'all think about this. What are the Ravens going to do? Do y'all think they're going to go defense, cornerback, edge, or do you think they're going to go offense? Offensive line or wide receiver? Let me know in the comment section because I'm sitting here racking my brain. Oh, and we will be live streaming the draft on The Wunderkind Show. We're going to be reacting to everything, watching it live, and we're going to have fun with it. But tell me what y'all think because I really want to know. Based on the scenarios that we have right now, it seems even the draft hinges on what happens with Lamar. I'm actually scared because a big news can be made about Lamar going somewhere else and them finalizing a deal and him not being our QB1. Then we'd have to worry about who? Tyler Huntley? Would they move up in the draft to get a QB? Would that QB even be ready to play the first year? Like an Anthony Richardson or somebody like that? If they did that? I'm sweating, Team Wunderkind. I am sweating. Please let me know what y'all think, because my mind is racked on it, because I'm kind of worried, because the Ravens have been kind of weirdly quiet about certain things. And you know when they're quiet about certain things, that's when they're making their moves. You know what I mean? Because they have the clout to keep the media silent. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. But that's another one. That's another episode of the Wunderkind Show. Once again, thank you all for watching. You could please remember, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment. You can be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me. You know I appreciate all the likes, the retweets. Please make sure that if you're watching the content, to like it. It helps with the algorithm, help the channel get out there more, and we're growing, and we want to get to 10,000 subscribers very, very soon. But if you would like to leave a donation, at the bottom of the screen is a QR code to the Cash App for this platform. The name of it, you can find it in the description also, is $The Wunderkind Show. And also, you can find it in the description of every video that we do, the Patreon for The Wunderkind Show, which gives you access to the Discord. It gives you access to questions from subscribers, and it will give you access to up-and-coming free merch. So go out there, do that, support. Let's get this train rolling, guys. And once again, it's The Wunderkind Show. I'm your host, Nitro, signing off. And as always, you guys knows my slogan. Peace. And I'm out. Hopefully Lamar isn't. Your